Welcome back. So at this point, you're ready to start your first day using the Phoenix Journal. So what I really want to go over with you is how to use it on a daily basis and why it's set up the way it is. So what you'll notice immediately, is that under your key actions, you have 4 boxes with an area to put a check or an X. Now, this is so that at the end of the day or the next morning, you can look back and say, what did I accomplish? Did I do what I set out to do? And these key actions are things that you must do. These are priorities. These aren't your tasks. This isn't a to-do list. This is, I have these goals in my life and I have to do this today if I want to make progress towards it. Now, what I really recommend having is looking at your key actions as a list of priorities from top to bottom. You want your first key action to be your number 1 priority that you want to accomplish today, that you need to accomplish if you want to get closer to your goals. So it's what is the one thing that I can do in order to get the closest to whatever is your primary goal today. And these key actions need to be specific, something you can do within a certain time frame, and ideally something that you can measure the outcome for so that you can place the outcome at the end of your day or the next morning. This allows you to track it and measure it and improve it over time. If you're doing something like sales, this is a very good thing to be using your outcomes. So let's say key actions, make like 50 sales calls. I don't know, I don't do sales, so I don't know how many calls you would be doing. But let's say make 50 sales calls today. At the end of the day, you could say I closed 5 sales. So that's your outcome. You can track this over time, and let's say that you look forward, let's say 10 weeks from now, you're tracking the same key actions and you do, let's say you do 50 or 60 sales calls again. Let's say you close 10. You can see that there's an increase in your conversion rate. Tracking these outcomes along with your key actions allows you to actually see improvement or lack of improvement or even regression. So it's very important in many areas to have this. Not all of your key actions and not all of your goals are going to require you to measure your outcomes on a daily basis. But this is there specifically so that if you need it, it's there for you. So don't feel bad if you're not filling that in. The next thing is my focus. This is really basically your priority along with your key action for the day, but this is a reinforcement. What am I focusing on today? What mindset am I coming from? What am I focusing on accomplishing? If I accomplish this, then I can consider it a successful day. You want to really have this because it distinguishes itself from being a key action. It stands out amongst the rest. It's very important to be able to actually concentrate on one thing during the day to make sure that you're making the maximal amount of progress that you can. The next thing is the task. This acts as a to-do list. You could even view it as a subset of your key actions if you'd like to. But this really just depends. What are you doing? What are you after? What do you have? What do you have to do today? Like, for example, my grandma. One of my habits is I like to call her twice a week. I'll put underneath my task, call Nana today. That's not a key action. That's not something that's getting you closer to your goals. But it is something that's important to you that you want to include within your journal or your planner. And then the next thing is, this is like your daily reflections and things like that. What am I grateful for? Once again, that is to put yourself in the right mindset of abundance so that you can go through the day not feeling like bad for yourself and things like that, and actually concentrating on what's important. The next part is so the Phoenix Journal, unlike the planner, actually has questions every day that are unique, that are actually a new thing to reflect upon. So this question for today is, how can I help someone today? And the reason that these questions are included is so that you can actually ask yourselves questions that you might not have otherwise. And these questions are incredibly important because they can change the decisions that you make on a daily basis. The questions that we ask ourselves are fundamental to what kind of success we're going to find in life, what kind of self-awareness we're going to have, what kind of person we're going to be. So that's why the Phoenix Journal asks you personal and unique questions like this on a daily basis. The next thing that you're going to fill in is a reflection. So you can fill this in the same morning and reflect on the day like the last day, or you can actually use it at night after this part. You can use it later on at night or the next morning to reflect on the same day that you were doing these key actions for. So this is up to you. What I like to do is I like to reflect on the last day, and I like to wake up in the morning and fill the entire page up and I'll say a victory that I'm proud of from yesterday. I'll say, yesterday I did this, and I'm proud of it because of that. How will I improve? Well, yesterday, let's say I didn't spend as much time working as I said I would. I got distracted by Reddit. So I'll say, spend less time on Reddit, something like that. It's very simple. It needs to be a simple, concrete thing that you can make an improvement on. And it's okay to say the same thing multiple times for how I improve. Because you don't want to be saying like a different thing every single day, because realistically, you're not going to actually do that. You need to focus on, fixing a few things at a time. You can't do everything. Now, this is where the journal is really separated from the planner. And that's obviously by the journaling page. Every Phoenix journal has a full day for journaling every single day, and this was my first product, the journal instead of the planner, and it's what I personally use because I believe that journaling is one of the strongest habits you can have. Think about this, if you journal for 10 minutes every single morning, by the end of the year you'll have written a book's worth of information about yourself, about what you want, about what you're thinking about, and it'll make you so much more clear on where you're going in life, what you desire, why, who you are, just all these things that you can put into your journaling pages that otherwise you would never do if they weren't sitting there right in front of you asking you to do it along with your daily planning. So that's why I think the Phoenix Journal really stands out, is because it actually gives you a full page to do this every day. And in the back you have an area to actually track your important dates. So let's say today is December the 12th, 2018. If I write down something I really want to remember on my journaling page right here, then I'll just chronicle it in the back and I'll be able to look at it later. So I've archived it. You can really use this as something that will help you keep track of your progress. Really, it'll paint a big picture of your life by the end of it. If you use multiple Phoenix journals, then what will happen over time is you'll be able to see all of your progress, the way you thought back then. You can really see how you've changed as a person. And it can become a timeless memoir for you and even your family for years to come. So I really think that that's an amazing aspect of the Phoenix Journal. That's why I personally use it over the planner. I like to write and think things out before I take action. And I don't like to be excessive about it either though. I like to think, and then I like to take action quickly, and then I like to reflect on it. It's important not to get too caught up in your thoughts before taking action. And I think that the Phoenix Journal has the perfect balance for that. And the planner also has a notes area as well. It's just not quite as large, although it is still larger than almost every other planner on the market. So that's it for how to use your Phoenix Journal or Phoenix Planner on a daily basis. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video about how to use the miscellaneous parts of your planner and journal that are in the back, as well as talk a little bit about the Vision Mastery course. I will talk to you in the next video.